So there are 32 days until my exams start, and I am discovering that upon going very intense with my studies, that exams are actually quite fun. I know this is quite a weird thing to say, in fact it's quite a controversial thing to say, but my tutor actually said it to us yesterday, and he says that most people don't believe him, but after they finish their exams, they comment saying, actually, you know what, that was actually quite enjoyable. And I've been having this thought already when I've been revising all of the topics that I had studied for the past 3 years. Exams are horrible in many regards. I will completely accept that. It's time conditioned, it's stressful, the results of your exams are incredibly important because you use those results as the passport into so many different areas of life later on. But I think this focus on the negative and the passport idea of what a GCSE is, what an A-level is, or what your finals reflect, I think it's detracting from the actual joy that is learning. So right now, I am studying for my exams, but it's not a bad experience. It's great, because my degree is slowly coming together as one coherent structure. Everything is beginning to overlap and make sense. And doing all these hours in the library, you might think if someone was looking as an observer that it's awful. It's not. Everything I'm studying is ridiculously interesting. So even if at the end of it, my exam result doesn't necessarily reflect my true ability, I will still have, at the end of it, all of the knowledge I've acquired and all of the skills I've developed from putting all of the work in for the exam. So yes, there are two aspects to this. There is the aspect that your exam grades matter a lot because they are the passport that allows you to go on to other things. However, imagine this scenario in which you don't study for an exam, you take the exam, and then you get awarded an A somehow. Now, let's run this example alongside another example in which you study very hard, you do 12 hours in the library 6 days a week, and your overall grade is a B. From a personal perspective, who would you rather be? The person who got an A, or the person who got a B? Now, if you're lazy and you don't want to put any work, then I guess you probably want to be A, but when you come to use your passport for whatever you want to get into, you're going to be discovered quite fast that you don't have what is required for you to have an A in that particular subject. Whereas if you were the person who put in loads of work and you do actually have all of this knowledge, when you come to give your passport and then you demonstrate the fact that you can actually handle things beyond what your passport reflects, I'd rather be that guy. What I'm trying to say is that your exams are amazing because they force you to get down, to start studying. And it is the run-up to your exams that is going to be the most profitable time within your academic career at that particular stage. It is at that time that you begin to solidify all of the information that you have been learning over however long of a period that it was. It is that moment when everything that you were studying begins to make sense, and that you get to reinforce all of the skills that you have been developing, and that is ultimately why we study. It's to develop these skills, to give ourselves a perception of the world that informs so many different spheres of our lives that haven't been made completely clear yet, but they will become clear and you'll be able to see them with more clarity because you have put in all of this effort for this exam. The result of the grade is what is important here. It is what value you get out of the process of trying to achieve that grade. To ground this in a saying that has been said and is one that I very much enjoy, is that it is the journey, not the destination, that is of value. It is the ascent up the mountain that is of value, not necessarily watching the sunrise, because it is on the ascent that you develop yourself socially, you develop your stamina, you develop your resilience to be able to achieve a goal, you develop yourself physically and mentally, and that is why the journey is of value and not just the outcome. If I were to just give you a grade for all of your GCSEs right now, you will not have any of that development and you will not get that sense of satisfaction that it's almost unexplainable. It just doesn't really matter. It's like when you finish an essay and you've put in all of that work, and even if it wasn't the best thing ever, you've still developed so many areas of yourself And I definitely think that in this exam culture, we should not lose sight of the fact that that is the value of learning. And to not want to learn means that you're denying yourself of any form of personal development that allows you to develop tools that you can apply everywhere. So when you are studying, remember that that is the joy of studying. It's not the stress of the exam. Of course, exams are relevant because they are used as passports, but remember that this was the original reason why we want to learn, why we want to study as humans. This is kind of what drives us. We are an inquisitive species, and for some reason, we have this thirst for wanting to constantly be better. In other news, I got a chicken. Happy Easter to everyone who celebrated. My family came to visit during the Easter vacation, and they gave me quite a lot of chocolate. Fair to say that I'm completely prepared for finals now with all this chocolate, and you may have guessed from what I just said, I am enjoying revision at the moment. It's great. I am learning so much, I'm developing so many different skills, and it's not really stressful because I've institutionalized myself into, I know when I get up, I know when I go to bed, I know I've got to do that, get this done, and bit by bit, I'm going to realise it's going to be over. And then what do I do? Yeah, I'm going to wrap up the video here. Do leave your questions and comments in the comments section of this video. Now, on what I said earlier about this being the most profitable time in your academic career, I'd very much like to know your thoughts on our exam culture and whether your perspective has changed from what I said about the journey of studying, or if you have any suggestions as to how we should do this better. I'd very much like to know. Do leave your comments below. I'll see you on Sunday, subscribers. Please do check out, I've made out some videos on tips on note-taking and reading to hopefully help you with your study journey. Until next time, I will see you on Sunday, subscribers.